Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. I don't know, but I don't see the point of adding that type of noise or exhaust to those vehicles. It's disturbing. It's not even like something we can appreciate. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So we're going to use the karma cards today for the Lionsgate portal. Let's see what we've got here for the energies. We've got third house energy, Gemini energy, communication, electronically, verbally, anything that involves communicating. There could be a phone call coming in, an important phone call or something, a message here. Okay, you guys could be seeing feathers. If you guys see any feathers, that's signs that you're receiving communication, maybe even from your ancestors. Now for the third house, remember the karma cards have the action and the outcome, right? So spiritual, mental, and physical. Spiritual, mental, and physical. So it says for the action, right? Spiritual action by making the right connections. Mental, the idea in question. Physical, get your ideas going, right? So by making the right connections spiritually, the outcome is your ideas, your spiritual ideas, the thoughts you have, the creativity that comes to mind, right? I feel like a lot of you who are spiritually inclined, you guys definitely receive communication, possibly even like Akashic records or like deep information, right? When it comes to this spiritually from your guides, your ancestors, who, a lot of us communicate with God. I mean, there's other, people you can, not people, but spiritual beings that you can communicate with, depending on your gifts and how open you are and how well you can receive this information. But anyway, mind that not everybody understands that, right? So spiritually, I feel like you guys are making, or by making the right connections, tapping into that clear state of mind to be able to receive your ideas that you're trying to bring about the outcome of your ideas, right? And it doesn't have to be spiritually, but this is the spiritual part of it. The action would be by making the right connections in order to get the outcome of your ideas. 334 on the countdown, as I said that. And then we had 336 when I looked back up. So mentally, this is about the idea in question. What is the idea in question here? Well, that could be your ideas that you're trying to create, that you're trying to make happen. And you do this by being able to collaborate with people outside of you, right? This is quick thinking, quick travel. You guys might even have to travel. If you can't travel, you might be attending a Zoom meeting, something like that, right? Where it has to do with communication. So this is about the idea in question. Mentally, this is your action, right? Mentally thinking about the idea in question. How you're going to bring this idea to come to be, right? How, and this is through making the right connections, right? We already understand that. Now, mentally, this is about the idea in question that you're thinking about, that you're trying to create, that you're trying to produce, that you're trying to collaborate. In order to mentally get that short-term thinking and trips, right? So some of you may be doing this, trying to get creative, trying to maybe find other ways of income, not necessarily income, but whatever it is. This is in regards to short thinking and trips, right? Short-term thinking and trips. 505 on the countdown. So this could be a change of a mindset. Okay, maybe if something isn't working for you that you've tried a couple times, maybe now you got to kind of think quick and figure out, okay, if that wasn't working, how can I make it work now? What can I change, right? How can I direct this? So this is all about the idea in question that you're trying to bring about. This is by making the right connections. So maybe you're already making the right connections, but you're not seeing the outcome of your ideas quite produce. This is because maybe you have to consider the idea in question, right? Where is it that you're trying to get it to take you? Is this short term? Is this long term? Is this going to require travel, right? Those things. Think about that. Process all that. Now, physically, this is about being able to get your ideas going, right? So this is all about your creativity, your communication, your ideas, your speaking to people, collaborating with people, working with people, right? In order to get this going. This is outside of you. This is friends, family, right? Anything outside of your home, your immediate. Now, how do you get your ideas going physically? Well, this is based on who or what is around you, right? So if you really think about it, based on who you're out there mingling with, hanging with, conversing with, interacting with, working with, collaborating with, brainstorming with, that's going to be based on how you're able to get your ideas going. Okay? So again, maybe this is the idea in question that you're needing to focus on. Who or what is around me? Is this working for me? Okay, perhaps it worked for me in the past, but maybe now that I look at it, it's not working for me. It's kind of just, I'm still having to brainstorm and I'm not coming up with anything. I'm not seeing the production. So maybe something here needs to change, shift, right? Maybe something here needs to give a little more. Maybe there's something here that you still have to question in order to be able to get these ideas going that you're trying to get, that you're trying to make work somehow here. Maybe this is based on who or what is around you. Maybe that is what you're needing to question. Maybe that is the idea that you're needing to think about first, process, analyze, right? This is all about thoughts, quick thinking, communication. This is like brainstorming type of energy. So that's what I'm getting here, guys, okay? Bottom of the deck, we've got Mars energy. So fire energy with air energy. These two energies are very quick, right? Mars is all about action. So it's like acting on these things that you're trying to create, that you're trying to question, that you're trying to brainstorm, that you're trying to bring about, right? Action needs to be backed up behind it with Mars. Now, Mars speaks on being able to energize, right? Confront, force yourself to find the drive for the confronting of action. So maybe, that's something that most of us are lacking, is being able to communicate properly, being able to brainstorm, being able to work together, collaborate, get other ideas from other people and try to, figure out how are we going to go about this action, right? How are we gonna, and maybe some of you are even feeling like you have to force yourselves to do this. Maybe you don't like the people you're working with, or maybe you don't like the ideas these people are trying to bring to the table, because maybe some of you feel like it's just gonna bring more conflict. Mars energy, right? Fiery passion, but the downfalls to that is anger and things like that, impulsiveness, right? So those are things you're gonna have to consider and really think about and really try to figure out and brainstorm. And maybe this has to happen quick, right? Maybe you guys are on a time limit. Maybe you're not, but maybe you're wanting to do this quick, easy, short, and not prolong it, let's just say. Okay, so